Okay, we're here back at Studio B, and today we're gonna cut open this. I got a Generac generator, 20 kilowatts. You're gonna cut open this filter. If you look on the side, it's well, still anything. Yeah, made in India. Serial number, so it's a serial CK8. So I'll probably put it up in a link. Let's cut it open. Get a handy dandy bead valve. All filter cutter. By the way, some people offer plated steel. This is like, you know, 1/2 inch. Probably aluminum grade, so it's a 1/2 inch aluminum. Let's see. Might take it. Take a few spins on this. You know, thing if you don't hear me talk, like there's a guy called Watch West Work, and he complained that people would like to see him shut his mouth and actually do some work. I find that would be kind of boring at times. So the only person that really, I'll go it this way. Why we're doing this is to find out, since it's made in India and probably made of broken up ships that they break from the ship breaking yards. We'll see what they have. We have it looks like a natural rubber anti-drain valve, and there's this. As you can see, it's fairly thick. That's probably stamp seal. You know, for people who want to see what they get when they there's still oil in it. See how the quality of fill, whether or not, this is like the whole idea of this is not to be the man with the x-ray eyes and to see if there's any you know, particles. You can't see that. You know, better, like I always mention, if you want to take something, it's a bit of oil. You want to you know what kind of condition your oil is in, take an oil sample. And for what we assume is a cheap filter, it has, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Let me get a light, but yeah, it's a built-in, not a cheap. It's not cheap, not cheaply built. That's what everybody worries about when you say Generac, you know, makes a filter. I'll be back in a second. Just get a portable flashlight. Okay, okay, I'm back. Now let's see if you can see the inside of that filter. Yeah, it's a stamped steel part. Steel check valve, spot welded inside. So it's a fairly good quality compared to being made in India. Then again, if Generac is overlooking the quality control of this filter, they should. That's crimped. Yeah, crimp here. You know, the pleats are what they are. You probably want to take it apart when it's new, take an all new one, but what happened is I didn't trust Generac for, you know, how some companies out cheap their filters. So I got myself this. This is a Wix filter. You see the part number. This is made from synthetic oils, has a synthetic medium. If you get rid of the XP, you go to the standard filter, and it actually fits quite nicely. So I would say this is a good quality filter. Probably get what your money pay for, and Generac is actually watching out for the quality of their equipment. Make sure they got good, you know, quality. That's a big deal. Not a flimsy, oops, yeah, right there. There we go. There we go. Yeah, right there, see, hopefully. Yeah, it's not a flimsy built filter compared to, beside it, this blue one. This blue one here, made in US, as you can see, made in the US. Honda, it's made like, supposedly what they say is made by Fram. Let's reveal how crappy this is. And it looks like a genuine cheap Fram filter. But then again, when you talk about filter changes, you better be changing your oil, your oil and filter on the manufacturer's recommendation. So it was not the only reason why I got a Wix, because you know, Amazon basically this one here, this will fit. This Wix, they got it in pretty quick compared to Generac, which probably it should be here by the beginning of December, which I'm not going to change the oil filter in the middle of cold weather. But yeah, it's still got oil in it. I can't see, but still got oil in it. Still hasn't drained out. I'll probably cut it like this anyways. Just cut a hole in on the bottom and stick it upside down. But now you know basically the quality of your, you know, your Generac. This is basically the quality of a Generac filter. So you know, have me taken apart, that this is probably a far superior filter than this OEM Honda here, which is probably made by, is made by Fram and a plant in US. So typical Fram filter. I'll do a video. I might do a video on tearing apart. I got a couple more Hondas, or for CRV filters. I got this Pennzoil, which is this is for my Honda. This is for my CRV. But yeah, Generac actually is willing to take, if you take it apart, you know, zip this, you know, would do just a good job taking apart this filter. But you know, it's a neater process with a cutter. And so it's nobody, you don't have to spend probably, that's probably what, $40 for a cutter. Nobody has to really spend. But if you're going to cut oil filters a lot and check for the quality, well, on this, the quality of the filter, then get a decent oil filter cutter. This is a solid, the back of this is solid 1/2 inch stock. And I'll see if I got the part number. Where was it? So this is a speed veil, I guess, oil filter. I think let's see where the box is. So if anybody wants to turn it upside down, anybody want to shoot themselves in the foot and spend extra money on the high quality oil filter cutter, this is the part number for the speedmotors.com oil filter cutter. You don't really need it, zip disc will do, but like I said, my objective, you know, when you're cutting open the filter after you take it out to see if it collapsed. You know, there's a burr there, but I don't think it's probably part of the cutting process. But you know, the number one, the quality. And yeah, this is, I would say again, this Generac filter is a good quality filter, I would say, compared to my CRV OEM filter. As far, I guess that's it. You know, you don't have to buy a $40 cutter to do this. You can use zip disc or hacksaw. But again, why you're buying it is not to check for particles. Most people do that, and you know, by the time you see particles in the oil filters or whatever, it's kind of too late. It's picking the stuff off the bottom of your oil pan. If you want to check your oil and make sure and kind of see what's going on in there, you have to take an oil analysis after you say did an engine rebuilt, or they cost probably around average. I've seen a price like $35. And some companies will actually, if you give them the engine model number and so whatever, the information, technical information, they'll actually compare it in hours of running. They'll compare it to on their database where it should be. So that's it for the cut up of the Generac filter, and I guess I'll be buying the OEM filter. Maybe I'll buy the 6-pack just to keep it on hand, but I think I got the maintenance kit, the oil filter and the air filter and set of plugs coming in. Now people say on the internet the Generac uses cheap plugs, so we'll see that when that comes in. But as far as the oil filter, I would say it's a good quality manufacturer, and if you hear rumors of people thinking they're being cheated by OEMs, you know, going to cheaper material, cheaper sources, and you know, cut it up, use a handsaw or whatever, and cut her up. Oh, I mentioned again, this Wix filter is made in Mexico, just across the American border, I guess, what you call it. It's on the generator now, so maybe next year I'll cut that up after I pull it out and swap it out with a regular Generac filter, proper part number too as well. So now you see it. It's a probably good quality filter. You gotta change it once a year. You know, this probably could last forever, but yeah, I would say I can sleep better at night knowing that they put in the effort of putting a good quality oil filter, and would not be a problem. This is from where I'm taking it off. I wouldn't have not a problem buying another OEM, but again, you know, I would cut it up once in a while just to make sure they're consistent of their quality. You know, every other filter or something would be worth it. And I would say that would be it for now, and I'll see you next time in Studio B.